Life through the seasons, rain and shining. It doesn't matter, I'm still smiling. And I am sorry for the violence, but I had to break my silence. All the hate, childish. Meditate, I'm flying. I had to take my time in. Out of the trenches came this diamond. Contract expiring, but I'm still inspiring. When I pull up, it go off like sirens. When you're the captain, you gotta watch for pirates. Yeah, I'm a king, not a tyrant. Hailing from the Zanzibar Island. Yeah. Calling to higher powers. Special tablets set at all hours. Bless me with real ones, keep me from cowards. Clock piece ticking, but please keep me timeless. Exhale the toxins, breathe in the flowers. We going higher, saying goodbye. I guess this my time. I guess this means goodbye.
Greetings, everyone. This is Okoti, and welcome to Concerned Voices podcast. And joining me is our panel. We have our good brother Major. Major looks like he's frozen, so let's go. Ijimale, greetings, sister. How are you today?
I'm blessed. How are you, Akoti? Greetings to everyone on the panel.
I'm doing swell. Brother Roland, how are you, sir?
I'm all right, Queen. How are y'all? How are you?
I can't complain, won't complain. So let's see, Brother Major, you coming in again? Well, while we wait on Brother Major to come on in, we'll go ahead and let our guests know what we got in store for them today. Today, we're going to talk about nutrition and why it's important to have a nutrition-filled diet. So, Miss Njimale, if you will, ma'am, go ahead and get us started on our hot topic for today.
Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon. I'm going to be speaking about nutrition. I will be defining what nutrition is, and then I'll be talking about the nutrients, the vitamins, and then go on generally to speak about what fats we should be using, and what basically a good diet looks like. So let me first define it. Nutrition is the substances that you take into your body as food and the way that they influence your health. Nutrition also focuses on how people can use dietary choices to reduce the risk of disease. What happens if a person has too much or too little of a nutrient, and how allergies work. So now we're going to show a short video. Thank you for playing that, Akoti. So basically, as you can see from the video, if people do not have the right balance of nutrients in their diet, the risk of developing particular disease increases. So let's go into the type of nutrients. There are two types of nutrients. There's what's called macronutrients, and the types are there's proteins, carbohydrates, water, and fat. So let me go into at least two of them so that you know. I'll go with proteins and fat. So proteins, they consist of amino acids, which are organic compounds that occur naturally. There are 20 of them. Some are essentials, which means they have to be obtained from the food that we eat. The body can make others. Some foods provide complete protein, and one of those foods is a dish of rice and beans. That is an actual complete protein. That means they contain all the essential amino acids the body needs. Other foods contain various combinations of amino acids. Most plant-based foods do not contain complete protein. So if a person is following a vegan diet, they need to eat a range of foods throughout the day that provides these essential proteins. But as I said to you, a plate of rice and beans is a complete diet, and you can get all your amino acids from that. So I'm then going to talk about fats. So fats, what are fats good for? So it's essential for lubricating our joints, helping our organs produce hormones, enabling the body to absorb certain vitamins, reducing inflammation, and preserving brain health. Now, I know that there was a time when it was said fats were not good for you, but the type of fats, it is the type of fats that you eat. So trans fats are no good. The fats that are good are coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil. And the reason that they're good is that they can sustain, you can heat them. The other vegetable oils, not very good to heat, because when they're heated, they release what's called free radicals. And we know what free radicals does in the body. And if you're not sure, please look it up, because this is just an overview and a summary. So I would advise everyone to go and look these things up. Okay, let's go now to micronutrients. They're vitamins and minerals. So the body needs carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. But we also require minerals from the diet. So I'm going to discuss two. And I'm not going to discuss ones that are kind of everybody knows about. I'm going to discuss maybe, just bear with me. So I'm going to talk about copper. Copper aids it's a mineral. Copper aids the body in making energy and producing connective tissues and blood vessels. If you're deficient in this, it leads to tiredness, patches of light skin. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I've certainly looked at certain parts of my body and I can see light patches coming up. It leads to high cholesterol and connective tissue disorders. If you have it in excess, it causes liver damage, abdominal pain, nausea, and diarrhea. The food sources of it are beef liver, oysters, potatoes, mushrooms, sesame seeds, and sunflower seeds. Another good one is selenium. It plays a crucial role in reproductive and thyroid health. It is also an antioxidant and can also prevent cell damage. It's found in many plant-based foods and food sources of this. And please ask questions if you have any questions. Brazil nuts, spinach, oatmeal, baked beans, tuna, ham, and enriched macaroni. And I'm giving you these food sources in the event that you want to incorporate some of them into your current diet. Deficiency causes heart disease, infertility in men, arthritis. If you have too much, you can get garlic breath, diarrhea, irritability, skin rashes, brittle hair and nails. So that is the minerals. Let's go on to vitamins now. So vitamins are water soluble, and these are the B vitamins and vitamin C. And when it says they're water soluble, it means they're not stored in the body. So you have to have them daily, basically. Fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E, and K. They're most abundant in high fat foods and are much better absorbed into your bloodstream when eaten with fat. So food sources of A, I didn't think about what food sources there were, but I just thought of some. So A, carrots, D, mushrooms, E, nuts, and K, green leafy vegetables. So these are all things you can incorporate into your diet. So macronutrients, are needed in fairly large quantities. So for instance, macronutrients, there's also proteins, there's carbohydrates as well. And this is things like bread, pasta, rice. But again, it's the type that you eat. So most people eat refined carbohydrates. And it's better that you eat whole grain carbohydrates. Micronutrients, you need essential in small amounts. So you need less of them, but you do need them. Basically, all you need to do is look at your diet and ensure that you have what they call is a colorful plate. Now, in the US, there's the Eat Well plate, which is a guide. And in the UK, there's the Eat Well guide. Both plates, and you can get them on the internet, and they will show you the portions and what you should be eating. So I want to end it here. Well, have a look at is that the Eat Well guide? Because I can't see. That looks like the Eat Well guide, yeah?
Yes, that's what that is.
Yeah, the Eat Well guide. And you can see that the majority of the plate is vegetables. You've got some protein and then other things, but the things that you should not really be eating in excess, and which we do because we eat a lot of processed food, is cakes and biscuits, crisps or chips as you call them, and things like fizzy drinks. They are all bad for you, if I could say that. But then even takeaway food, because most of it is fried in trans fats. And again, they promote free radicals in the body. Now, look up free radicals and you'll see what they do, because I don't want to be saying here what they actually do. And the way to counter free radicals is to have antioxidants. So antioxidants are things like vitamin C. So that would be loads of oranges, lots of fruits that have vitamin C. So oranges, apples, strawberries, kiwi, all fruits rich in vitamin C. Also, lipocene is a very powerful antioxidant, and that is found in tomatoes when they're heated. So the diet Make sure that your plate is colorful. And it's always good to eat raw with your meals, because what you should be having in your diet is a balance of acid and alkaline. When the body is too acid, that is what creates what's called disease, and which I call dis-ease. Your body is at dis-ease. Also, when the body is inflamed, it leads to dis-ease. So just make sure that you're getting all the correct nutrients, that your diet is balanced. You need the macronutrients, you need the micronutrients. Just check out what type of foods um, are micronutrients, what macronutrients, and see what you can get from your diets. And you can also supplement if you think you're not getting enough. So, for instance, I live in a country where there's hardly any sun, so I have to supplement with vitamin D. And most people supplement with something like 4,000 IU. I don't know if that's the equivalent to what you have in the States. So look up whatever your equivalent is. And if you're in an area where there is not sufficient sun, check your vitamin D levels and then supplement. Another thing, it's not only about nutrition, it's also about our movement, about getting exercise. And it doesn't mean you have to go to gyms. You can join a walking group, you can walk, you can enjoy parks, you can say walk for 30, because they say you've got to walk for at least 30 minutes each day. You can do half an hour of walking each day. I know everyone's busy, but sometimes, you just need to de-stress. Take walking parks. That, along with the nutrition, will assist in your health. Are there any questions?
Yeah, sister, I did have a question. How does probiotics fit into your diet, especially in regards to women's health? Probiotics.
Well, probiotics, they're good for your microflora in the gut. So I don't know if you know that things like antibiotics and various other things get rid of the good flora in your gut. So if you've been on antibiotics, say, the thing that you have to do is now replace that good flora. And the way to do it is by using not only probiotics, but prebiotics as well. So things like prebiotics, I think, are garlic and apple cider vinegar. And then you've got the probiotics. I don't know. Do you have, so a lot of these probiotics are in yogurt foods. I don't know if you have Yakult in the States. Do you have Yakult?
You say, are you saying yogurt? Like,
Yeah, yogurt. Yeah.
yes, there's yogurt.
No,
Yes.
no, no. Not yogurt. There's a drink called Yakult. Yakult.
I haven't seen that. Roland, have you seen
Right.
that? No, he says no. Major, you seen it?
No,
And that's a probiotic drink. But I tell you what is another good um probiotic drink, sorry, and good for your gut is kombucha. You do have kombucha in the States, don't you?
yeah, we got that.
Yeah.
Right. Kombucha is very good. Try and get the low sugar versions. I get the versions that are quite sweet, and I've got to try and find a one with lower sugar, but that's also good for probiotics. And it's all about your gut health, because what they found is that when you have poor gut health, it also creates a host of other problems.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see why, because your body's not releasing some of those toxins.
And what they've also found, and I've read a couple of studies on it, because I'm always talking about my studies, is that the gut affects those with autism.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they've found gut health linked to autism. Again, I've only read a few articles and a few studies, and I've got to look into it more. But yes, they found that poor gut health and autism are kind of linked.
I can kind of see why, because if young children are being deprived of a balanced diet, then that could alter their I guess their learning capacities. their growth development, right? Their attention span and things of that nature.
And also, if you change your diet, you can reverse type 2 diabetes. They've been doing studies over here for a few years now. In fact, one
Well,
of my cousin's partners was on an actual program where they were trying to reverse her type 2 diabetes.
but let me say this. I understand what you're saying, Gemini, but don't forget Dr. Sever did his own research too, and he
Hmm.
spoke about a lot of that as well. It's on video interviews and whatnot. But
Yeah,
but what I noticed was like when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, there was a big push about plant eating healthy and what have you, making sure you have something green vegetables in your diet. It seemed like
yeah.
the emergence of fast food kicked in, looked like they removed that completely from the meal that was being pushing most families in the United States. Because there's not too many things that they don't have over here. As far as like that
Hmm.
whatever you were talking about, that first thing, but they be having a lot of stuff over here. So a lot of us not really familiar with it though.
But what I found is that they do push fast food, and fast food is no good for you, no matter how you look at it. And I mean, I'm not saying don't have fast food, but some people have a lot of it when we don't need a lot of it because it's not healthy to our bodies.
I ain't saying for that reason. I'm saying to say fast food obviously must pay it off people and what have you. I'm not talking about it, this shit eat it. I'm saying at one time it was being pushed heavy in the states about eating healthy and stuff in reference to the veggies and stuff like that. But I said once the fast food came, of course they lied and made sure that um they changed the diet and stuff like that because the government always had a way whereas they will push certain things, right? And I ain't gonna lie, one time the school system they was talking about planting and all that back in the 70s, 80s and eating healthy and what have you. And now it's just totally flipped.
Well, of course, it's flipped. It's all about money, isn't it? Come on, if we're spending our money on fast food rather than on fresh vegetables, who makes a profit? And also, remember, people are living longer. So how do you get your people popped off? You introduce things that are not healthy for them. And yes, I agree. At one point, they were pushing healthy food, and then everything went fast. And I'll tell you what other studies have found is that lack of a nutritious diet leads to increased violence. Now, there was a study done in the UK in a prison. Cannot find the study. You can find mention of it, but you can't find the actual study. They went in, they were having really violent incidents, and they went in and they changed the diets of the prisoners, and violent incidents reduced by about 20%.
Wow, that's astonishing. That's amazing.
Well, yeah, and even when you look online now, you'll find that your nutrition and your diet is linked to violence. So you think that you're in a household where all you're getting is fast food and the incidence of violence around. That's one of the things that they found, that your diet is linked to violence. And as I told you, you can't find the study in the UK, you can't find the actual study. You can find references to it. They haven't released the study.
But I still want to talk about Dr. Seven because I
Yeah,
understand what
sure.
you said, but Dr. Seven actually did his own thing, and he called out the Nation Islam and several people for not addressing. He addressed all the major elements like cancer, HIV, and what have you, and through eating healthy and certain things like that. For the protein thing, when they asked him a question about that, he said he don't know. He said black people never set up nothing to study and find out the effects of protein. He said that's coming particularly from Europeans and what have you. So he can't tell you the effects of it or not. And I think that brought a critical analysis to the fact that something we don't really know because it's coming directly from them. We don't have no melanated people that have a research team that's actually just addressing a lot of these things about protein and so forth, so on, and what have you. But Sebi did something entirely different, saying that he was at one time a person that um was riding boats, right? And he was saying he was using some the mechanics of when he was dealing with steamboats and what have you, and how he kind of like transitioned to understanding eating healthy and fasting and stuff like that. Can you give me some kind of clarity on that? Because he really gave some pushback by a lot of things that was coming from the Europeans in reference to diet and so forth, so on, which we do agree on the veggie and fruits and nuts and whatever. But what you think about the things he was talking about over the years that people started talking about it, but the power, I mean, the people that like when he called the nation lineman, the stuff he was accusing the government and all that of, and they didn't really respond or get behind them, what have you. What's your take on all that?
My take is that Dr. Sebi founded a diet that was good for melanated people. I think if you go back hundreds of years in Africa, and I've seen some research on this, haven't delved too much into it, that they were a plant-based race. It was only when Europeans came in that their diet changed and it became meat-based. I agree with Dr. Sebi that, if you change a person's diet, because what they've done is they've taken away a natural diet and they've replaced it with a processed diet. Think about everything's fast. Everything's fast. You've got packaged food. These things are high in salt and sugar. And all of this salt and sugar attacks the liver. And remember, the liver is the only regenerative organ in our body. I hope
And
I've answered the question.
yeah, I think that Dr. Sebi put the idea in everyone's mind that you can take control of your own diet, right, by preparing your own meals. And so what I found out is that when I changed my diet and started preparing my own meals, I actually started saving money as well.
Yep,
So you
of course.
change your diet and save money at the same time. Save the,
Well,
change your diet, save your life, and save money. That's awesome.
well,
We
yeah,
also
it's
we
awesome.
also address the major ailments that we can't look around too. That how they've been trying to extract stuff from plants or whatever and create different medicines when they could go to the actual whole, the whole vegetable, what have you, fruit, whatnot. But you address the fact that HIV, cancer, diabetes, and all that could be addressed too. So it was like everything that Gemini was talking about, reading about, he was addressing that way before it became popular. You know what I'm saying? Then when
Well,
it took him to court in New York, you know what happened in New York and how he beat the case and all that.
but then we then have to talk about big pharma and the fact that big pharma wants to push their medicines and not nature's medicines. Now, we had a brother over here called Dr. Sali, and he actually produced, and I've forgotten the name of the product that he made, but he had amazing results with it. So much so that he was thrown out of the Royal College of Surgeons because they said he was pushing foolishness. But basically, his was a natural product, and he actually said, and this has always stuck with me because remember they say to you they put pesticides on the food to keep the animal to keep bees and other things away from the food. And his point was, well, why would you want to eat something that creatures of the earth will not eat? And I thought that was just such a powerful statement.
Yeah, I mean that is true. It's just sad that the big pharma, which controls everything, they got some on Netflix. A guy, there was a documentary on. I forgot the name of it. But a lot of y'all may know about this, and it's about it's exposing the big pharmaceutical companies and what have you, but it's also going to like the meat industry and whatnot. And it also talk about a lot of organizations like the Diabetes Association, Heart Association that promote a lot of meats and foods that's against what they're supposed to be about, changing or curing in reference to cancer and diabetes and stuff like that, right? And it goes into how show how these animals once they deceased, how they all disease infested, sick, and this shit where they cut open a cow and nothing but green stuff come out, look like pus or what have you, right? And then when everything's said and done, the pharmaceutical companies was just pumping so much of medication. The meat companies buying so much medication from the pharmaceutical companies that's trying to like feed these animals drugs to get them well, right? And as well as we know what they do around the world for us saying, well, here we got a medicine to heal you for this, that, and other. But I think that's it goes deep. I forgot what's the help? What's the help on? It was on Netflix, and the guy he exposed like these organizations that claim they're about curing diabetes, cancer, and all this. How a lot of them are caught up with these meat companies, and these meat companies called the pharmaceutical companies and what have you. But it's sad to see that big pharma just have a raw habit to like even the media like they didn't they control like the media as far as the news how they advertise every time they go on TV different medicines or what have you. So we were really fighting a uphill battle. But just for Cody right here, because Cody got her thing going on, and I
Mhm.
think that's beautiful what Cody doing. But Cody, talk about the importance of being able to create your own veggies and fruits and stuff like that.
Well, we found that, if you want to be sure what's in your food, you have to grow your food yourself. So that's what was the main thing that sparked our attention, that inspired us to want to grow our garden. And so that's all I can say. I want to know that my food is organically grown, that there's no GMO ingredients. There's no that this the seed that it was grown from is not one of those Monsanto seeds. Um, and so organic for me is my main motivation for doing what I do. I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, you answered, but I also want to tell you too. I'm working with somebody right now that sells, fresh foods and stuff like that. He do a little farming. We working on a project together. We've been communicating off and on. I've talked about it today, but I wanted to say that because this is a good conversation we have. Especially since Imogen and Jimmy spoke so profound about it. So I'm gonna let Jimmy come back in, but I definitely think that's important too, because like I think Cody was talking about the deserts and whatnot, how we don't have a lot of healthy eateries around us and stuff like that. And this is another issue of us having access to these kind of meals and whatnot and diets and stuff.
Right, right. Before you're speaking about these areas within our communities that we call food deserts, and so there's no grocery stores within walking distance, or even like a mile away. People have to go what they call like into town to just get just basic vegetables and fruits. And so we have these what we call food deserts, and so people such as myself and the brother that Major was just speaking on, being able to grow food in abundance and being able to identify those food desert areas and being able to supply those areas with fresh vegetables and fresh fruits can help our people turn back that tide of it being infested with disease and disease ridden.
I have to say and I've got to say there's no food deserts here. But what I did find when I went to Florida and I visited my cousin, we went to a place that sold fresh fruit and vegetable, but the quality of it was so poor. And she was going on, oh, we like to come to this place because they're Christians. Because what they had was all these Bible verses put up around the place, but the quality of the fruit and vegetables was so poor. And she looked at me and she said, "You wouldn't shop in here." And I went, "No, I would not." I said, "You look at the quality of that fruit and vegetable, it's really, really poor." So even when you do have fruit and vegetable suppliers in the community, they think they can dump rubbish on you. And I've actually seen this. And I've got a cousin in New York that doesn't, he lives in the Bronx. He does not shop in the Bronx. He goes into Manhattan to shop for his fruit and vegetables.
Well, that's a market too, though. That's a market that can be exploited. Like we have to really think outside the box because If there's no good fruits, what have you, never know you may exploit that. And the brother I was talking about, his name is Major too, the older guy in the 70s. And I'm gonna film some of the stuff. He got a setup, you know what I'm saying, on the highway right next to me. He sell all kind of fruits, veggies, water, everything, right? Do the chop wood and everything. He talking about planting right behind him. So we really was just talking, about it, but we trying to teach the young kids how to plant food and stuff like that. So him and I try to network. He's close with somebody that work with the state representatives in Atlanta. I think they're secretary or something. So we all been communicating. So we try and network, but things like that, generally we have to address in our community because too many
You
times
do.
we see it's just like the situation, the health thing, right? And I'm just getting on conversation for a minute. You know, we see as a big market with that, even though we know the agents are really like controlling that, right? But we see where our money people spend their money at, but most definitely that might be something to exploit. But with this, whereas they don't have it around and the fruit is bad, imagine somebody in the neighborhood start selling fruits and veggies that's good, that's consistent, what have you. Not only can they eat healthy and also provide healthy food to other people, in our community, but also make money with it.
But Major, also the youth of today don't want to eat healthy. As I said, there's no what I would call food deserts here. And I know friend would cook a nutritional Sunday meal for her children, but they prefer to go out and buy at the chicken shop, but get the chicken and chips. And when I say chips, I mean we call chips. It's your French fries. They prefer to get chicken and chips. Um, High in fat, antibiotic filled chicken, and then we wonder why our children think it's okay to pick up a knife for some silly reason and stab another, or look at another man and think for no reason to shoot another.
But
The
that's how
diet.
all do it, generally. A lot of times that
Sorry?
fall on the parents. A lot of times that fall on the parents not
Of
knowing
course
no
it
better
does.
than
But then you're saying it falls in the parents. I've just given the example where the mother had prepared a nutritious meal, but the child wanted to go out to the chicken shop to get this fast food.
you. I'm
So
talking about from
again,
young. I'm talking about from young. You can't wait to get out the way. It's
yeah,
always a
yeah, agreed.
in the school system, the government, everything. That what's being fed to the child when they, in the streets by their friends, that they out and about. But I'm saying it's still his parents' responsibility, still and them kids. You know what I'm saying? But they start real late and they let them do eat how they want, like most of us do with our kids. It's a problem then to try to teach them that. I'm not saying that they can't be taught that and they can't change, but that's still a situation where they got to be taken care of at home, and
Can,
hopefully
can
the person see what's going on and be right.
can I give you an example? I don't know. Have you ever heard of an English chef called Jamie Oliver?
Who is that?
He's a quite high profile chef in the UK, but I'll give you an example of how well it is the parents. These were Europeans, but I'll just give you the example. He went around the schools and found that they were feeding the children rubbish. So he went on a campaign across the country, across England, trying to change the food that the children were given at lunchtime for their school dinners. And do you know the parents, these were Europeans, mind you, the parents went out, bought a bag of chips from the fish and chip shop and was handing chips to their children through the school gates. So you are right. It starts and ends with the parent and what they're prepared to do for their child.
Yeah, and, I'm gonna be honest with you. At one time, our mama made this was coming up. We had these something green, some kind of veg or something, right?
Yeah,
I mean, no more. You can have chicken, you can have whatever, but they made your business that you eat something green. That
yeah,
still need to be practiced. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us was taught that. Some of us wasn't. A lot of us knew that. If you grew up in the 70s and 80s, you know what I'm saying? A lot of black families was pushing that. They did. Believe it or not, people don't realize. Don't be like, I was even like this too. We make funny, or maybe from the country, you're a country boy. But a lot of farming and everything, they come from people from the country. When they migrated to the city, they brought all them, all the ways to how to plant. They were planting back then, eating healthy and all that. They knew about that. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it's kind of far fetched, like that city life that took over fast food restaurants and what have you. But to eat right, to exercise, to drink water, to do the necessary things to just survive and take care of yourself, it's like an afterthought. 'Cause the fast food, I mean, everything has been, everything, like, even people drinking alcohol and using drugs, that's becoming first. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just thinking healthy.
I mean, there's a book that I read many years ago called The Body's Cries for Many Waters. And this guy was saying that a lot of the ailments we suffer from is not because we are sick, it's because we are dehydrated. We are not drinking sufficient water. Now, our body is 60% water, and we are supposed to apparently drink 2 liters of water per day. 2 liters for us in the UK, 8 glasses for yourselves in the US. But they also say you can get that from your fruit and vegetables. So if you say drink a liter of water, but you make sure you have at least a lot of fruit and vegetables throughout the day, that then can count towards your 2 liters. But some people are not drinking water at all, I found. I found some young people don't drink water, or if they do, they drink that flavored water with those sweeteners in, which are absolutely detrimental to your health. So, aspartame, saccharin, all these things, and especially if you're diabetic, those things are fatal to diabetics. But of course, this is what the doctors are telling diabetics to drink, to use.
What you think, Roland? What you think about the discussion?
You're on mute. You're on mute, Roland.
You're on mute.
Looks
His
like he's
audio, his
okay.
audio probably wasn't working. But going back to Cody, like that's why I think what Cody doing, what Major doing on the Elder Major man, and people like that that's actually planning, actually teaching, actually even what you're doing also, because you're a vegan. People don't know Jim Lee is a vegan. So let's talk more about that, Cody, because that's something that's being spoke about, the planting, getting land and what have you. And we talking about eating healthy, but how important is for us to push that? Because a lot of us is really not getting it. Fast food definitely have a big leap on us as far as in our homes and stuff.
Well, it's going to come a time whereby people are not going to really be able to afford to go to the market to get food to eat, right? They have it so now that when you just to go to the market and get vegetables and fruit, you're spending upwards of at least $30 to $50 to get, a good week supply of fruits and vegetables. So that's a red flag right there to say something is going wrong. The cost of food is going up exponentially. So it behooves you to learn how to farm, learn how to grow your own foods. Just today we received a shipment of some grow bags where we're going to grow some food in some grow bags, and that's ideal for individuals who live in apartments or who do not have large yards, right? Or have a yard but it's all concrete. Just okay, so get you some grow bags, get you some dirt, and start growing your own food. Like so in Jemele, said that she's a vegan and she's still alive. So if all else fails, you'll have some vegetables and some fruit where you can sustain yourself. You have some water, do the vegetables, and you'll have some your vegetables and fruit. You'll have water, and then do the vegetables and the fruit. You'll have those proteins and those nutrients that we talked about earlier today. So yeah, it's very important that you be mindful of what could come and prepare yourself for hard times. Like any a catastrophic event could take place and rid you in your house stationary, but you have no food.
Cool. Let's address the elephant in the room, though, obesity and how we eat so accessible. We don't even be hungry. how we abuse food, throw food away, and that's in line with what you just said though. How we deal with the food addiction of just buying food we don't need, buying food we not hungry, throwing food away, knowing that the world is very populated with people that that living people. How we deal with the food addiction, because we the worst in the states in reference to how we throw so much food away. We know people around the globe that need food that don't have how we have it. How we address the food addiction and the lack of prioritizing that, and understand that we have to eat healthy, we have to be able to store food, etc., etc., etc.
I think that whatever is in those foods that we crave so much,
Mhm.
whatever additives or preservatives they're putting in it, causes us to want it even more. It's like a drug, right? So, and I wouldn't doubt if it is some type of drug, right? But so how we combat that wanting to crave those different things is to produce natural fruits, vegetables, sweets ourselves. Like you can make, desserts just using the natural fruits, natural grains, oats and stuff like that. You don't need sugar. You can make a sweet potato pie without having to add those um, manufactured or dyed sugars, right? Sweet potatoes that you can grow in your own yard, right? Or in a grow bag, and then you could turn it into a sweet potato casserole or sweet potato pie or however you like your sweet potatoes. But it's food and it's also protein, it's also carbohydrates at the same time. So yeah, it's very important that you learn how to grow for yourself to help be self-sufficient, self-sustaining in the event of a catastrophe.
Can I say, Major, I'm going to jump in here. Do you know why there's a food addiction? Do you know why people eat food? It's because the type of food they're eating is not filling them up. So they always feel hungry. So, for instance, if you eat a lot of refined products, it gives you an extreme high, and then an extreme low. But a lot of it is not filling you. So what will happen is they eat, say, the burger, and then half an hour later they're still hungry. If you eat whole grains, slow releasing of sugars, and it fills you so you don't feel hungry so quickly afterwards. That is a lot of the problem, and that is what leads to obesity.
And
You
I
know
think
what?
you're right. You're right because I know when I eat stuff like grits and eggs in the morning, I'm not hungry till like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you are absolutely right. As opposed to just eating a biscuit in the
That's right.
morning or donuts in the morning. That once that sugar goes through you and it's those bad carbs that you talked about, then you're left with the low and you're feeling tired and you're feeling
Hmm.
lethargic and what do you call it, agitated, right? So I
Yeah.
think you're right about that.
You know what's so crazy? You know how our body communicate with us through constipation, um,
Yep.
indigestion, sometimes throwing up. And I don't want to sound vulgar saying that. It's somehow our body communicate with us. And I don't think we even realize, even when we see bumps all over our body, where it's trying to just, get out of
Telling
our
us.
ear
Yeah.
or whatnot. So that there is indication that hey, you need to tighten up with your diet. But there's a book I recommend everybody read it by Kevin Trudeau, Natural Cures. He goes in, and he talks about how everything that's packaged, canned, what have you, is processed, and that these
Hmm.
people, they put additives and different stuff in there to make you become addicted to eating that, right? He talked about obesity and whatever. He talked about a lot of things they say it wasn't good for you, it's good for you now and what have you. And he was showing where doctors not always right. He said when they say they give a medical opinion, it's their opinion. And he said that's why you gotta go do research. Whatever. He was young, he caught cancer in his 20s. He went to Mexico, got cured just like Dr. Seven did, right? So that was the kind that was what I knew about Dr. Seven. That was years ago, right? But it corroborated um what Dr. Seven was saying, when I did check Dr. Seven out. So and then I was checking out Nature Boy, switch with Nature Boy, all that, and I was hearing about when they were in Mexico, because they don't use pesticides and all that stuff, chemicals on their fruits. Soon as you eat, you gotta eat it so fresh because it'll go bad like in a day or two. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about fresh the fruits are in Mexico and whatnot, but definitely our body do communicate with us, and we definitely need to know more about what we put in our body. Because if
The,
not, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna be sick, we're gonna die.
well, the reason that there's constipation is because there is not enough fiber in your diet, because it is fiber and unprocessed starch that, that acts as a kind of, how can I say, it's like roughage. It acts like a scrubbing brush through your intestines and it takes it all out. But if we're not eating fibrous foods and we're eating fast foods that are refined, then there's nothing to help scrub out the intestines. If I can use it so colloquially, there's nothing there. There's no fiber to help the passage and work things through the colon. And that is why people are constipated. And also, I don't know, and I'm sure that you had this practice in the Americas, because most black countries have this, that our people used to have a system of cleansing their bodies once a week. Did you do that in America?
Yeah, we they got all kind of fasting and what have you, and
No, I'm talking back in the day. Did they, as a matter of course, on a
no.
Friday or a Sunday, you'd have what the Caribbean people call a washout?
My God, so I can't.
Okay, so during, I know that within the Catholic religion, during the month of Lent, it's customary for you to fast on Fridays.
No, what we used to have, that was a tradition. We don't have it anymore since, especially since we've come to here and since the Caribbean has become so Americanized, we don't have it. But as my mum would tell me that on a Friday they would have it wasn't a laxative, it was a herb. And this herb was to assist in cleansing the body. So you'd have that every Friday or you'd have that once a week. And we're not doing that because we should be doing that. We should
I,
be cleansing our colons quite regularly.
I do know that fasting does help to give your body a chance to catch up and
Yeah.
release all of those toxins that's been building up. You know, with you constantly putting food and things into your body. So yeah, you do need a detox. You need to detox, and I think that you had mentioned apple cider vinegar. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, that's a good way to detox, especially if you're trying to lose weight, because what it does is it shrinkens your stomach.
But
So
you know what? If you sorry, Akoti,
yeah, go
have
ahead.
you right? So even because sometimes apple cider vinegar can be pricey, and if we're talking about the cost of living and looking at all kind of households and what may be able, you can use lemon and hot water. Does the same thing.
Yeah, that's a good detox as well. So yeah, so what I try to do is I try not to eat before 12 o'clock.
Mm,
So that's my way of detoxing. And if, and one other thing, and not to sound gross, that gives your body a chance to release all of those toxins that built up overnight, right? So
mm-hmm,
you're flushing yourself out with lots of water. You should wake up every morning and drink water, like, to
mm-hmm.
finish your body. That should be the first thing you put into your body. And then take it light. You're breaking your fast, so you don't want to abuse your body. So you take it light, but you want to put good stuff in. Your first meal needs to be some good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some healthy stuff. But the problem is nowadays is that we're getting all these GMO products, these products that are heavily
Mm-hmm.
sprayed with pesticides, and then these products that are not real. Like,
Yeah,
so you're thinking you're eating healthy, but you're actually eating something that's not even real. It's
but
made up.
that but that's why it's important to label read, because I will stay in the supermarkets and I will label read. And I've got a book that said if there's more than 7 items on the ingredient list, then that should be something that you're putting back.
No,
Now,
no,
I've
no,
tried.
no, 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 Jimmy. I'm talking about bananas. I'm talking about bell
Okay,
peppers.
okay.
I'm talking about collard greens. I'm talking about lettuce. You know what I'm saying? Those things
Yeah.
that they are manufacturing in these plants and selling it off as fruits and vegetables. And then
Hmm.
what about these? Watermelon is a very good source of
A cleanser, yeah.
nutrients. That's what as well as it hydrates your body, right? But they're seedless. So how's that a real watermelon?
It's not a real watermelon. I mean, in England, you have to now search to get seeded grapes. Now, I just got some really big ones, but I had to go to one of because we've got a lots of Turkish migrants here, and they've brought their food because they do the Mediterranean diet. So they've brought their food here. So you can go into some of the Turkish shops and get seeded grapes. But if you go into the supermarkets, no, they're all seedless. Oranges are seedless, everything's seedless.
That's the same here. That's the same here. So I'm allergic to grapes anyways, but I don't even eat the watermelon. I don't eat anything that says seedless. Like that's not real. That's not
No, it's not real.
and so
It's crafty.
the problem is, and you were talking about where you go to buy your food in these poor neighborhoods. What it seems to me is that they get the leftover foods from the bigger chain stores, especially if it's a chain store, like the bigger stores in the better neighborhoods. When they have that expiration date, they ship those products down to the poor neighborhoods and give it to them to sell. That's why the fruits look so bad. And then so in those poor neighborhoods, they don't have an option to get organic food. All they have is the foods that's been sprayed with pesticides and the foods that's not real. So
Can I say, can
so
I say, I live in an area where I have a farmer's market, I have independent grocer shops. So the quality of food is there, but the people don't really want to eat that type of food. They want the processed stuff, they want the fast stuff. I understand in America that the quality, they may ship it down, but the quality of the food, because we were in the European Union and they had really strict guidelines, because there's some food from Americas they won't import here. Um, so we've got strict guidelines, but what it is, the people don't want to eat it. What they want is the fast food. They want the Kentucky chicken, they want the Mickey D's, they want, the chicken shop, which is all high fat, trans fat, refined rubbish, if I can be honest. Let's hope they don't hear me and sue me because they love to do this.
so Roland, come on in here, man. You've been
Yeah,
quiet.
come
So
on in, Roland.
what's your
Yeah,
idea of a good, well balanced meal? Give me an example of what your plate look like.
my plate look like spinach. I eat spinach more than anything, and I like eating at least one time a day. And I'm just like you, Jim Lee. I rarely eat at 12 o'clock, 12 noon to give my body time to heal. Cause the more food you consume in your body, it make it hard to digest. I see
Mm.
brothers and sisters walking around with big old guts, and they don't even understand why. They don't understand why. They think that's just a part of life, getting a big old stomach. They don't understand it's the food that they consume. They eating meat at 12, eating meat at 7, waking up eating meat. No, and I'm against that. I'd rather just eat. I'm a spinach person. I love spinach and I love watermelons and I love apples. I'm into fitness. I'm into nutrition. I wants to live to be 140 years old. I wants to break a record. So I got
Good
to
for
take care of
you.
myself.
Well, I just did Ramadan. So I did, because I support my colleague who's Muslim. So I just did Ramadan and I did it for the 30 days. Um, at times it was tough, but I did it, and I only broke my fast at the times. And when the clocks went forward, oh my gosh, I suffered because then I had to eat an hour later. But I did it, and I was quite proud of myself. And everyone's saying to me, "Oh, are you Muslim?" And I said, "No. For me, it's the discipline. Can I fast? I don't go dry. I have to say because I get very cold. But what I will do is drink just water and teas, herbal teas."
Okay. I just done Ramadan because I'm in the Islam. I've been
Okay.
doing it for the past 27 years, and it's a beautiful thing. People think they can sustain from water and food for at least 16 to 17 hours. They just don't know the benefit of how great your body feel when you keep certain things out of your body.
It's
And
true
I'm
because I was waking up earlier. I was up like a lark. It was brilliant. My skin got better. My hair, oh, it was brilliant. Have
well,
you
yes,
have you ever done it, Cody?
Well, what
you
we
ever fast?
what what we have in what we call our faith is that we recognize the Day of Atonement, and on the Day of Atonement, we fast from sundown to sundown. And so it's basically 24 hours. You don't consume anything except if you have a health condition, you have to consume some. And some people do a water diet, but that's between you and your Most High, because that's the Day of Atonement where you're asking forgiveness for all the sins that you've committed. But that's one day that I do it, but I've never participated in Ramadan. But like I said,
It's just fasting.
I
It's
fast.
just fasting. It's
Yeah,
just fasting. You don't have to be a Muslim or participate in Ramadan to fast.
right,
Yeah,
right.
I have my
Exactly. What I'm saying is that I understand I've never participated in the fasting in accord with Ramadan, right? But we
right.
what we fast on the Day of Atonement, and me myself, I fast all the time. I look up and I haven't eaten all day, so it's nothing for me to miss 2 3 meals a day.
That's a beautiful thing.
On any day, you know what I mean? So yeah.
The human body don't need nothing but one meal a day. I don't know
You
what
can
all this
survive.
breakfast, lunch, dinner, and what midnight snacks came in there. I don't know where it come from.
Well,
yeah, but
No,
I,
that's one thing. I'm guilty of midnight snack, and I'm guilty of snacking. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm trying
oh,
to
I
get better.
snack a
I got
lot as
some rice.
well.
I bought me some rice cakes, so I'm trying to get better. Just put that out there.
yeah,
Put it
I
this
did
way, I
Ramadan.
snack. I'm going to be honest, I snack, but I'm trying to reduce my snacking.
Yeah. I have done Ramadan quite a few times over the years and stuff like that. I'm off and on with it and whatnot. But like Roland said, I'm not a Muslim. Like Roland said, it's mainly about discipline. You know, the connection with the Most High. You just just becoming better. And who you are and whatnot. But for me personally, like this conversation, I want to thank you first, Jim Lee, for this because we need it. Because some of us got to take a hard look at our food choice decisions we make, you know what I'm saying, as well as our healthy decisions and fasting is one of them things, as well as exercising and stuff like that. But what I want to say is we talk about this food with this food, we talk about how we eating and whatever. Even cooking it, you can't even cook it like cooking. You gotta some of that you gotta just you gotta steam some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
like the greens, you cook all the nutrients out of it if you overcook cabbage and greens and stuff like that. So even when cooking it, you gotta know how to do that and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And then eat in portions. Don't have to eat a whole lot. Cause eating gotta be a discipline thing. Cause when I read Elijah Muhammad book Eat to Live, he
Right.
spoke about we supposed to eat one time a day. And he
yeah,
says we need to live not because it tastes good and so forth so on. But we've been taught that we got to put all the seasoning in it. It got to be this, that, nothing, what have you. So for me personally, I always knew that. Don't get me wrong, I varied in my diet. I've been a vegetarian, I've been a pescatarian, I've been a vegan, I've been all that, right? And back to, just kind of like regulate my diet the best I can. I haven't been at my best, but I know how to like turn up when it really, really matters. But what's important to me is knowing that how we cook it and how we consume it. And what y'all think
yeah.
about that?
Let me say this. I always tell people, why do you eat fried food? And they just go to one. I say, okay, would you drink cooking oil? They say, no, I ain't gonna drink no cooking oil. I say, but when they fry the food, you consuming it. You consume it. If you buy French fries or Whopper, with all of it that they put in that grease, so that's how they trick you. You would not eat spoil your fruits and beans, but yet they process it into alcohol. We drinks it. We would drink it because we not cognizant of what's really going on. And we need to speak more about our nutrition because people are really lost to what's going on. They wonder why we have kidney problems, liver problems, high blood pressure, and all these things. It's through the food. It's
It
through
is
the
through the
food.
food.
It's
It
through
is through the food.
manipulation. It's through manipulation. I ask everybody, would you drink this cooking oil? They say no, but you would eat it. You'll be sitting, they sit right in front of me. Every time I catch them with them French fries or something like that, I ask them. And they'll go to I just want to plant the seed to make them think. I can't change your mind. You got to do that on your own. But you ain't gonna, cause you know you're not gonna eat nothing spoil, or you're not gonna drink this cooking oil. But yet, if they put this in and make it taste good, you're gonna eat it. It makes this alcohol taste good, you're gonna drink it. And somewhere down the line, you're gonna be ill.
Well, can I say that when you do eat, or whoever changes their diet, as well as green, eat a lot of dark coloured vegetables. So, blueberry vegetables and fruits. So, blueberries, black grapes, red grapes, purple sweet potato, orange sweet potato. Just have a variety of colours that you eat. These are powerful detoxifiers as well as
Right,
being antioxidant.
right.
So there's a lady, and I don't know if Major may have heard of the lady. Her name is Joanna Brandt. I think she's German, but she did what was called a regenerative diet with just black grapes, and she was healed. And she set out her experiences in a book. But what I'm saying is, lots of dark coloured fruits, lots of deep green, all of these things. And, Major's talking about boiling. We don't have to boil. We can steam or we can have them raw because you can eat cabbage raw.
I did say steam. I said steam,
Yeah,
bro.
and that's what I've agreed with
She
you, Major.
agreeing with
I'm
you,
not
man. She
disagreeing.
agreeing with you.
You're not
All
Don't
right.
listening
wig
to
out,
me.
brother. Put your
You're
wig
not
back on.
listening. I'm
I'll
agreeing with
listen to
you.
you. I'll listen to you. I'll
Put
listen
your
to you.
wig back on, Major. She agreeing with you. Don't wig out.
I'll listen to everything she said. She keeps talking about the European art that she didn't get some black art to talk about. All right.
Yeah, I could remember when we was growing up in the projects, on the outskirts of the project, they had blackberries growing, they had
Yep.
red berries growing, they
Yeah.
had figs, they had so many fruits and vegetables in our community. And I never got sick until I turned 19. They seems like all the vegetables that was around in our community disappeared. And now I see them in the stores and they're so expensive. They so
Yeah,
expensive. They cut down all the trees and all the bushes that was giving us our medication. And they reversed it, just like Major said. They went to putting all these. I ain't even knew about no rallies and all this to somewhere in the 90s and all these joints. I'm like, shh. That it's just trickery. It's just the form. It's the pharmaceutical behind this.
big
If you don't
I
pharma.
get
remember that rule. They
if
either
you
drug
don't
on
get
the
if
side
you
of the
don't
road.
get sick, if you don't get sick, they don't get paid. I tell my brother
Exactly.
all the time, man, you walk around here taking all these medications, putting their children through school. When you gonna stop? When you gonna stop? And just like you said, when he went to eating to live, he lost. He was like 325. Me and him, we working out. He eating different. He went from 325 to 240, 250 within 6 months. But
Yeah.
see, then he thought he was a supermodel. Oh no, you couldn't tell him nothing. So he went right back. He reverted back to his circumstances and seems like it got worse on him. So you gotta maintain that healthy diet once you start it. You can't say I'm gonna be healthy, eating healthy for a month, then fall off in 3 or 4 months down the road. You wondering why all this weight came on and you sitting in the doctor being diagnosed with cholesterol problems, high blood pressure, and all this.
Roller, you getting ready to make me go out there and start running. Stop, Rock
I'm
All
Game.
just
right.
being honest.
Let me man,
Let's
you.
go in. I would say the same thing, but it is not easy like that for some people that have not even came close to thinking like we thinking. Like, so just imagine people like us that still kind of struggle with it. It's really hard, but you speaking the truth, my brother.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Mhm.
We have to exercise. Just like Jim Lee said that you can find somebody to walk with. Me personally, I can't find nobody to walk because I likes to jog. I likes
Okay.
to jog. That's just me. I rather take out running. I can't because walking's take too long for me to get to my destination.
I'm with you. I'm with you, my brother. If I don't break out with a sweat, I feel like I ain't did anything. So like I have to run. I have to
And
Well,
sweat to feel like
well,
it was worked up in, right? Yeah. So
when
I
I when
yeah.
when I walk when I walk with my walking group, we're usually doing 2 hours. So we're walking for 2 hours straight.
Oh, see that part right there. That's some good walking. That's
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 some great
and what
walking.
we and
how
what
many
we've done, we've discovered some lovely parks in England, in London, and we go around to a different park. As I said, today we went to Greenwich and we walked from Greenwich to an area called New Cross, where they had an African market in Goldsmiths University. So we did a long walk, and by the time I'd got to the uni, I'd done my 10,000 steps. So for the entire day, I'm now on 18,816 steps.
Congratulations. Well, walking is
Congratulations.
always highly recommended 'cause I do a lot of walking, largely because I'm not as small and I have I had knee surgery, so I don't run out as much as I used to. But if I lose a few more pounds, I'll be back running too. But I do love walking. I believe it's just you walk at your pace because when you're big, you can't walk as faster as opposed to somebody smaller. But walking is highly recommended. If you can jog to get that heart pumping, yeah, do that. But definitely cardio is very, very important.
Yeah, I dance to get my heart pumping. Hey, that's how I get my heart pumping. I dance.
Well, that's a great thing because your whole body moving. I hope you
Yeah,
got some
man.
groove with it.
Yeah. What did you say, Roland? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I say, hope you know how to groove with it, got some rhythm. Can't be moving like them white folks.
No, no, darling. I've got lots of rhythm. I've got
Oh,
lots of
all right
rhythm.
then.
I was I was strutting my stuff yesterday, last night. I
All
strutted my
right.
stuff.
You just checking it. All right then. I'm just checking now.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. Listen, I'm from the Caribbean. We can wine. I've got
Oh, well,
Caribbean
I'm
heritage.
from New Orleans. We do the bounce thing. And if you know what the bounce thing is, you'll really be moving, baby.
I'm of Caribbean heritage. We can wine.
Yeah, I think you want here if you want to see wild, just put on New Orleans beat. You gonna see wild.
I think you need to see Antigua at Carnival, dear.
I
It's a
saw it.
bit
I saw it.
aggressive.
Listen to me. I seen it, and it can't compare to New Orleans bounce beat. You'll be
Okay.
surprised.
You sure you're not seeing Jamaican? Because
Yes, I
remember,
saw it,
no, no,
sister. I
that's
seen it, Queen.
Jamaican. That's
I seen all that.
Jamaican.
I look at the
There's a
Caribbean. I look at all the gorgeous women all throughout the world, especially with they dancing. They ain't dancing like these sisters down here. And that music and what they play with. Mm-mm. I think you just did put it on and check it out. I don't think
yeah.
you know if you ain't been doing it since all your teenage years, you're gonna be lost. You're gonna be left behind because they light years ahead of you. You wouldn't even think they
Listen.
got a vertebrae. Yeah,
Anyway, yeah, I was bopping away. No,
that's
I
good.
was bopping away with rhythm. With rhythm, I might add.
Okay. Okay. That's a good thing. Because, when we wakes up in the morning, we should be at least doing a quick 15-minute exercise.
We
I
should
don't know
be.
if y'all do. Because when I wake up in the morning, I stretch. I do a little 15-minute exercise just to get the blood pumping. Because when you wake up out of bed, sometimes we might don't have a good night's sleep. But when you work out for them 15 minutes, watch how your whole body go to change. You look like you're ready for the world. Just walk out that door. You just ready for the world once you work out. Work out because I'm not eating nothing. If I might drink a cup of coffee, and that's it.
Mm,
I'm out the door.
Yeah, I believe
mm,
that. I mean, when you really on it working out wise, it's a vibration that comes over you that you want. It's just like you live it, you eat it, you speak it, you talk it, you think it, you sleep it. I mean, it's a beautiful feeling. Like I said, I don't stretch as much as I want. I've been hitting the gym a whole lot, what have you. And for me personally, it's nothing like investing on you, betting on yourself, right? Because a lot of times we bet on everybody else but ourselves, right? When you can invest in yourself from a spiritual, mental, emotional, financial, what have you, right? You win in such a way if you apply yourself properly, right? So I mean,
Right.
I definitely agree with that. But discussion in general about putting right nutrients in our body is important. I hope the people that listen or watch the replay realize that um a lot of we doing, a lot we have learned, the way we eat, it may not have not been the right way, you know what I'm saying? So we trying to get everybody to see, like, look, know what you eating. Understand nutrients, understand the vitamins and minerals and all that's coming out these foods and whatnot. How bad you need it, because when your body's when you know you constipated, you can't use the restroom. When you got bumps all over your body because the toxins trying to come out and whatnot, that's because you probably eating something that's not healthy, and your body giving you,
Absolutely.
to give you a sign that, hey, you need to get up. But the vegetables, the nuts, the seeds, all that is important. I want to thank everybody for commenting on this because we need this so much in our community.
We do need it in our community. I mean, nutrition is key. As Roland said, high blood pressure, diabetes, we're having arthritis, we're having rheumatoid arthritis, and these kind of things. They're our body attacking itself. Some of these arthritis, rheumatoid, that's your body attacking itself.
Right.
And you have to wonder why. And it's all down to our diet
Right.
and inflammation.
Right.
Well, how can we incorporate that in the schools? And I know when they system whatever. Well, how we get to our young people, because they've been affected more about it, because they're like the newer generation what have, because this got to trickle down to where it gets our use. Hopefully through the parents, of course, but we know hopefully we can devise a way how we can talk about this more in our community at large, because even though the conversation being held, but look like it's not getting as much movement as it should. That's the question for everybody.
Well, for me, I mean, I usually do talks. I'm in a few groups, but again, I'm preaching to the converted, not to the youth. And Roland, remember, sorry, not Roland, Major, we had the scenario where you could do something, but then when they go home, it's not being practiced. When we spoke about financial literacy, well,
Right.
it's the same. You could talk to them about nutrition and what they should be eating, but if when they go home, mum's just bought a bucket of chicken from KFC, do you see
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true.
And and the fact is, I mean, I think the first thing to do is start with family, your family. I mean, my family, when I try to tell them, they tell me, oh, it's rubbish. I've been eating this for years. But I just let people be, because then at some point they'll come to their realization that they have to change their diet. And
I'm gonna be
usually, go on, sorry.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Even Roland can reflect this, right? Like when I was really on it working out, which I'm still on it now, every up and down I'm driving trucks. But I won't lie, like in my house, you know what I'm saying? Mostly where I've been, I've always kind of pushed eating healthy and what have you. And like you said, it's important as in the household, but also as important when you meet people, you know what I'm saying? People see you doing this, that, and other, they inspire them too. And right there you can also share what you're doing and try how you're trying to implement, exercise and eating right and so forth, so on. Because some of us don't walk we talk the talk, we don't walk the walk, right? And I feel like if you can live by example, that can be also inspiring too. And if you can get a platform like this, whereas you got people listen to you too, you can share with like we doing right now. It's gonna definitely take a group effort for that change. So I said to say that a lot of times we just gotta walk it, we gotta talk it, we gotta show people we're about, as opposed to just talking about it.
Let me say this
Definitely.
because I'm gonna have to get ready to leave. Uh, yes, I can attest that Maisie always did eat healthy, and because we used to be working out hard, but since he left, I haven't found the workout buddy that lasts with me. Because as you get older, you wants to take care of your body. But anyway, most of the people that when you come in contact with and you tell them about healthy eating, they look at you. First thing they'll holler or say is, well, my mom was eating like this. We came up off of that. We
Yep.
came up off of eating these chitlins, eating these or this barbecue and all these stuff right there. We came up eating this pig. So I said, why? Man, mama, daddy, blah. I say, okay, grandma, grandpa, grandpa. I say, well, now you don't went all the way back. I say, go back a few more years. I said, because we was on the plantation. I said we was forced to eat that things. Today
That's
we
right.
ain't forced. Today we're not under the master whip to eat the pork, to sit up there and do to eat all these negative things. We have a choice. We have a choice whether we want to eat healthy or we want to eat unhealthy. Don't wait and be, oh, I got to eat healthy now. When you just had a massive heart attack, the signs are there. The
But
signs are
that's the
there.
problem. People only start to eat healthy when they have a major ill health problem. So I met a sister today who is a survivor of cancer, but her diet only changed after she got that diagnosis.
Right. And
And that is the problem.
right. My auntie, she passed away from cancer. They told my auntie, look, you have, I can't think of the name of the cancer, you have 6 months to live. So all us was worried. So I just went to reading about plants, reading about different things. So we wanted to incorporate nothing but green vegetables, nothing but green vegetables. This is what the lady said. My auntie lived 3 extra years in her,
See?
and she went to gaining weight and everything. Then they went to incorporate more and more chemo. They went from 1 time a week to 4 times a week with chemo. But before that, she just gave up. She said, Roland, I'm tired. But as long as we was giving her them green vegetables, just
Yeah,
feeding her green vegetables, it was like it was the miracle drug. That's why I highly recommend
yeah,
green vegetables in our diet. I highly recommend these things.
absolutely. Absolutely.
But I have to leave though. It was an interesting topic because I got a concert to go to. I'm going to the blues tonight. I'm going to
Oh,
like
enjoy.
yeah, I'm going
Enjoy.
like you, Jim Lee. I'm about to go cut a rug, baby. Mm,
Okay, okay.
yeah,
Film it.
I'm
Film
two
it and
step
send
for
it
you.
to Major and send it to me. Let me see how you
Oh,
can cut a rug.
all right, I'm gonna go 2 step for you.
Yeah, do a two-step for me, please.
All right, my
All
brother.
right,
Have a
yeah.
blessed one. Enjoy yourself.
All right,
Enjoy.
daughter. All right,
Enjoy.
bye bye.
Take care.
Uh,
All right, peace, brother. All right, that was a very interesting conversation. And to answer your question, Major, how do we reach the children? Part of our business plan at My Way Farms is to offer children an opportunity to come out to the farm and to learn the farming business from beginning to end, including, how to plant, how to test your soil, how to harvest, how to, care for your plants, how to care for the food and, and your animals, right? So that's our way of giving back and reaching out to the children. So, and hopefully by reaching out to the children, the parents would get involved, of course, and then from there, the community would be able to learn how to provide food for themselves. And so, with that, I say again, in Gemini, thank you so much for bringing this to the forefront into our attention. And Major, thank you for participating. Of course, our dear brother Roland, who has left the building. Those are my last words. My last words is that in a nutshell, if you eat right, you will live longer and you will save money. And so learn how to eat right there in your own vicinity where you live. So in Gemini, go ahead and tell us your last words.
My last words. Let food be your medicine and your medicine be food.
Nice. Major.
hey, to everybody that listens to my verse, we want to thank you first and foremost for just participating, listening, comment, as well as well as just supporting us. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. After if you want you have any questions, you have anything you want to share, do that. But for me, I want to tell everybody just be healthy and think healthy. Think about longevity more than anything, because you're not just living for you, you're living for people around you as well. So just wanted to say that. Cody.
Oh, I was muted. And with that, we want to say thank you for listening to Concerned Voices podcast. Tune in on next Saturday where we'll bring you another episode. And take care of yourself and each other. And we're out. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thank
Shalom.
you. Peace.
What? Yet is so many things I want to talk about. See as my people just stay suffer now. My country bad and my country harder now. Nowhere to go and there's nowhere to run. But I no go mind, I go put my grind on my mind. I no go fear, I go try make I dey my lane. No. Cause my brother say, water, no get the enemy. So I no one get the enemy. And I go flow like the river. Yeah. It doesn't matter what you feel.